There's a difference between caring for people, which I think we're pretty good at in healthcare, and caring about them, which is really about the personal connection.
Dr. Tekano really emphasized the relational aspect of care and quality of life. For example, one resident wanted to go out into the community, take the handy dart and the taxi by himself to go shopping. Others on the team were quite nervous and thought, well, he might fall out of the wheelchair, he might get hurt. But Dr. Tekano said, no, let's give him the chance. And he allowed him to go out, and he did go out. He really is someone who kind of pushes the boundaries so that we can really move from an institutional model of care to a social model.
When I started looking after residents in long-term care, I recognized they weren't able to speak for themselves, first off, and that really troubled me. Many of them didn't have family members that were there to provide advocacy for them, so I felt that they were being overlooked. I really wanted to be able to provide some sort of voice for them and at least spend the time to try to hear their voice. That was comforting, fulfilling to me, that I think I was able to provide these people with some level of comfort that might not otherwise have been accessible to them.
During COVID, Dr. Tekano volunteered to go into the care homes. This is at a time when we had no vaccines. We didn't actually know how lethal the COVID virus was or wasn't towards not only staff but the residents. But he was there in person, encouraging the staff, especially the frontline staff.
Dr. Tekano just has shown how much he values the mental health and well-being of our residents, and a lot of that, of course, was jeopardized during the early days of the pandemic. So he was very much an advocate for making sure that all the needs that mattered the most were met. He has been very much a big supporter of our radio show here. It doesn't matter how busy he would be, he never passed through the hallway while it was happening without dancing and getting involved.
He just exemplifies our mission. He appreciates social justice, and he is very, very compassionate.
He started seeing me with books laying all over the room, golf books. He said, why don't you get a bookcase? I said, I left 5 or 6 bookcases in my apartment. He says, well, I'll tell you what, I built my own custom bookcase, and it's about the same size as what you'd need. And he brought this bookcase back the next day. And I love the thing.
He did my door knocker. I was really very thankful for doing that for me. He's a very nice person. And then from then on, we always greet each other.
It's quite remarkable that those little acts of kindness and support are so meaningful to people, and that really just reinforces why we should be doing it over and above our own emotional gratification that we get from that. It's remembered, and I think people feel cared for or cared about. We lose the caring about aspect in the desperate need to care for people, and I think there's a difference there that they notice. So if I can help them with some aspect of their life to make it nicer for them, to provide them with a smile or a moment of joy, that's really what it's all about.